Hi, this is Paul Acevedo of Windows Phone Central, here with a video review of Super Crossfighter for Windows Phone 8. This is a shoot-'em-up from indie developer Radian Games, makers of Joy Joy, a very good shoot-'em-up. You've got a main campaign here, which has a total of 6 chapters because there's an epilogue. Then there's also an unlockable second quest, basically, with 6 more dark chapters. Let's do the dark chapter. Why not? After choosing your chapter, then you can choose between 3 difficulties. You have to unlock the Ace difficulty. Oh, can't do easy on dark, so we're just going to go with that. The difficulty affects your score. You got a little intro text thing. It kind of sets the mood, but it never says anything interesting. The game has a really fun upgrade system in which you earn points every few levels and then you can allocate them to these different stats. If I just type autofill, it'll pick a pretty good selection of stuff for me, including some things that affect the size of your shots and how fast they go, how much life you have. So I can move back and forth on the left here. The buttons have a nice vertical clearance to them. They could feel a little better as far as moving left and right, but they're okay. The default control scheme, though, is a lot worse, so you're definitely going to want to use this, which is arcade-style controls. Just clear the wave and it's on to the next one. Now, what makes Super Crossfighter different from other shoot-'em-ups is that you can warp to the ceiling. Just tap the warp button if you're playing with this control scheme, otherwise you have to hit 2 buttons at the same time. So this creates some unique dodging opportunities, because you are restricted to one plane, but at least you can jump back and forth between the ceiling and floor. The enemies drop these little purple dots, and that fills up your super meter. Obviously, they get a lot harder as things go on. I'll use the super shot right now. Well, no, I don't have enough to do it. I've almost got it filled up. My lives are up here at the top. I think the ship art is pretty good in this game. You know, it's nothing too fancy, but it is better than Joy Joy's ship art, which was a little bit too simplistic for my taste. Got an item right here. Weird thing about items, you can't just fly up to them. You have to warp through them, which the game doesn't ever actually tell you. But there, I got it, and I got a shield. There are some other items, but I have no idea what they do, because it usually doesn't tell you. Well, there's one that slows time down, but a lot of times you just don't even know what you're picking up. So now I can use my super blast and it fires through those shielded enemies. The only other way to hit shielded enemies is by killing the shield generator enemies, the little green guys next to them. And that did it. There's also a survival mode in which you can unlock 3 different survival stages, and they just go on and on forever, and you try to get the best score you can. There's a bunch of permanent unlocks, which is a fun mechanic. All of these things can be unlocked with currency that you earn just by playing. There are no in-app purchases. But yeah, like I could have my super attack do this wide blast shot when I activate it. I can have it give me an extra shot every time I play, which I do have unlocked. Only bad thing is you can't toggle these things off if you want, but that's not really a big deal. And then you've got like the extra difficulty is not very expensive, easy to unlock. You got achievements for just doing little different things. I think you get some currency for accomplishing them, so there is actually a point to them. But also, they're nothing too fancy. I think this is the kind of game you're really just playing for score or for stages. The game does not have online leaderboards. Again, that's something that I think Radian Games should start adding to their games, because it adds a lot to old-fashioned games like this. There are a lot of options, though. You can toggle the graphics to different settings to make the game run better on your phone. Here we've got tilt, slider. Tilt controls, interesting. I would never play that way, but you can also turn off the camera tilt and have the whole thing fit on your screen a little better, but it's going to be less fancy looking. Let's give it a shot. And in survival mode, your options are preset. So as you can see, this takes away the 3D effect, making the game look a little more old-fashioned. Still quite playable. In fact, it might be a little bit easier this way. Super Crossfighter has an unusually large number of levels and unlockable things for a game of this type, and that actually makes it really cool to my mind. Like I said, I wish it had boss stages. I think the controls could be a little bit better. They're not horrible, but they could be a little better. And I wish there were Moga controls and leaderboards. But still, this game, at the current price of $2, is a great value because, I mean, like, it took me hours to work my way through that campaign mode, and I still have a whole second campaign to go through. So if you like shoot-'em-ups or classic games like Space Invaders and Galaga, you'll definitely want to give it a try. Thanks for watching. Read the full review at wpcentral.com.